John Reeder. I'm going to talk to you guys today about fires and prevention and how to extinguish the fire. I'm not exactly an expert, per se, on fires and their extinguishment, but I've been trained in the Navy for 10 years on fire, methods of firefighting, and the fire extinguisher itself. You have different fire hazards throughout your home, your business, amusement park. Fire hazards are everywhere. You've got them at home. Everybody, I'm sure, wears hairspray or maybe a body spray. They all have a butane in them or an alcohol-based substance. Barbecues, you don't keep them clean. They can catch fire as well, grease fires and whatnot. Your furnace, if you keep things too close to your furnace, they can combust. I actually had a fire on board a ship that it only started because of having pillows stacked up against steam pipes. So after an amount of time with these pillows against the steam pipe, they dehydrated enough to where they finally combusted. So you need to make sure you're watching what you actually place around your furnace and water heaters. There is a rule of like 3 feet around those, I believe. Everybody has lawnmowers, cars, and usually a can of gasoline somewhere. Very flammable. And pretty much everybody's got matches too. Your children can be a fire hazard. Playing with matches, all kids want to know about fire, and it's awesome to watch a match strike. So, make sure your matches are kept up high. Make sure your lighters are kept up high and in drawers locked up, that kind of thing. You don't want your kids burning down your house, and obviously it's expensive. Okay. Fires kill and injure people every day, just like my slide shows. Little kids playing with fire, smoking in bed, which I think has actually kind of dropped a little bit because they make their cigarettes different now. And then kitchen fires. I remember while I was a kid in elementary, we had a girl whose mother was cooking who knows what, and a grease fire erupted. Well, her instinct was to throw water on it. Everybody knows water will put out fire. But there are 4 different types of fire, and a grease fire is a fire that you don't put out with water. It'll actually make it worse. So you need to use baking soda powder, or just smother it out by putting a lid on it, turn the heat off. So because she threw water on the fire, it actually splashed the grease, and it got all over her clothes and all over her face. Burned her really bad. She did survive, but she wore those funny looking body glove suits for years. So fires are hazardous, very hazardous. They will kill or injure you. Next one. Okay, I was talking about she didn't have proper training on fires. Her instinct was throwing water on the fire. Okay. As long as you understand the basics of fire extinguishers, you'll be able to prevent the fires from happening like what happened to her. You're going to have your fire extinguisher. You're going to pull a pin out of it, aim it at the fire. Usually you'll want to aim it at the base of your fire. Squeeze your handle and sweep side to side at the base of the fire, just like the diagram shows. Easy way to remember it, just pass. Pull, aim, squeeze, and sweep. And make sure you're using the correct extinguisher for your fire. Each bottle will tell you on there it'll tell you what fires that particular extinguisher is used for. Go ahead and switch to the next one. your classifications of fire. Everybody knows A, B, C, and D in the alphabet. Alpha fires is campfire, paper burning, anything that'll leave an ash. That's a class alpha fire. Class B fire, class Bravo, is your combustible fires, your hairsprays, your gasoline, petroleum-based fires. Then you have class Charlie fires, a C fire. That's electrical fires. So shorting out wires, electrical panels on fire, such things as that. Class Delta fires, that's burning metals like magnesiums. They produce their own oxygen. So putting water on those is incredibly dangerous. If you ever have a magnesium fire and you throw water on it, it'll explode in your face. So, not that anybody has magnesium in their home all that often to burn. So for your class alpha fires, water's fine. You can use water for class alpha fire. Class Bravo fires are your petroleum fires. Don't use water. You're going to want to use a powder substance. They do have fire extinguishers that use a potassium chloride, which is basically like your baking soda. Class Charlie fire being your electricity. Everybody knows water and electricity does not go together. So turn the power off to it. Whatever electrical items burn in your hairdryer or toaster, if it's on fire, just turn it off. Unplug it, turn it off, and hit it with the CO2 bottle. Spray it with the CO2, and it goes out. If it's much bigger than that, you can at least keep it contained with the CO2 bottle until your fire department shows up. And for the Class Delta fire, you can't find an agent for that. The civilian, excuse me, normal civilian people really can't get their hands on that kind of firefighting extinguishing agents. It's very hard to find, and they're very expensive. Go ahead and go to the next one. So in conclusion, I've told you about how fires can be dangerous and they can threaten your family, threaten your property. Important to know the different classifications of fire, the A, B, C, and D. Know which fire extinguishers to use. You want to use a dry chemical for your combustible fires. And you can use water, you can use the CO2, and you can use the dry chemical on your alpha fires. And for your Charlie fires, just use the CO2 bottle. You can use the water after the power is out. But you better make sure the power's out or you're going to become part of the problem. And prevention is obviously our best method of extinguishing a fire. Keeping the matches away, keeping them high, and teaching your children and your loved ones how to be safe with fire as well, and the use of extinguishers. Do we have any questions?